Ahoy everyone, this is a bit of a different video. Tonight is possibly my last TPN night, which if you don't know what the TPN is, look at my vlogs. It's basically total parental nutrition, so it feeds my body when I can't eat or anything like that. And it also absorbs nutrients and vitamins better than putting it in my stomach like a feeding tube. So tonight might be my last night because I'm actually probably getting off of it and going to a feeding tube and eating, so that's awesome. But I want to make this video like how to kind of like the process it goes through. One, because my subscribers might like to see what we do every night, and two, for anyone that's out there that has this problem where they might not know what to do in the next step, or they forgot what their the nurse told them. So kind of just to help out, like a how-to. We're gonna go check out how my mom does it because she wants to do it tonight. She taught me how, and I did it like 3 times, but I want her to do it because this is her last time and she enjoys doing it. So let's go check out how that works. All right, so change of plans. My mom has some errands, but I'm gonna be doing it. So this is everything that you'll probably need. Your setup might be a little different depending on what machinery you have and, you know, all this stuff, but for me, this is what it's like. So we have this travel bag thing, but it helps so I can basically walk around the house with it attached to my wheelchair and move around, or you know, I can even carry it as a backpack if I could, but that's great. And we also have a power brick around here somewhere, just in case the battery starts to die, or if we don't want to use batteries. So that's that, and of course alcohol pads always, so you need a ton of those. I got gloves. You can hand sanitize your hands, but since this is a very, you know, the risk of infection is high on ports, just gloves are awesome. This is gonna be for later. I'll show you what that's for. You'll need like a coin. This is the machine itself, the pump. It's a CAD Prism and VIP. And this one, they have everything tailor-made already in here, all the rate and everything, so it's already built in, programmed, and you can't change it, so that's good. There's a battery for that. We have like a ton of these that they gave us. And then we have the vitamins. So there's 2 different vials. You put them in the syringe, and this tells you about it. They're adult, and they have all the stuff that can't be put in the TPN. I don't know why. This is the saline flush for your line. We go by a thing called sash cap. So it's saline. You saline the line once. You administer the TPN, so you put it in and then you run it overnight. And then in the morning, it's saline again, and then a heparin, which is a blood thinner so that it, you know, keeps the blood kind of moving and doesn't get it stuck in there in the port. And then a cap. You change the cap every day so that it doesn't mess it up or get infected. You know, it's called sash cap for that. So I'll show you in the morning how we do that, but that's 1 saline now. And then we have this syringe. Don't be afraid, you don't have to stick it in your body, but this is to administer the vitamins into this. So, and this is the big thing, the TPN itself. This is I get it for over 14 hours. Usually you want to get it down to 12. They only got me down to 14 because my body couldn't handle it anymore. And then this is the amount and all that stuff, and then this is everything it has in it, which is pretty cool. So just make sure it's, you know, it's yours, that they didn't give you another one, because it's tailor-made to you, which is really important. And you might want to get a bucket with this, and I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, I forgot one really important thing. We're also going to need this, of course. This is the tubing. You need this to connect this to you, or your patient or family member. So yeah, this is really important. First thing we're going to do is put the battery in here, and I'll show you. We want to just start that up. So we're going to take this, and right here on the side is this little majiggy, and we take the little safety thing off the battery. It's not, okay, there we go. And then it's plus side up, so it goes like this. And we stick this right here, and then we do that. Starts telling us all our stuff, and it's weird. It does this weird setup. It goes blank and then black sometimes. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, don't make a liar out of me. Good evening. So this is my reservoir volume, and this is the infusion volume, how much is in the bag, and this is the amount of hours it will run over. And there's no taper up or down period in mine, so these are all programmed into it by the nurses. And then there's a plateau rate, and then this is how many milliliters I've been given since that date, and then it goes through the review, and then the time, the date. I think those are accurate, yep. And it's that's a self-test. And that's a very familiar sound So that's it. So now we just leave it on the side for a sec, and then we move on to the fun part.
Edie, get out of my laboratory.
So I got my purple gloves on, and this bucket, I just kind of use it to put garbage for now, but we also use it for something else at the end. But we're gonna start by opening the syringe, and we will do a little trick. I learned this trick in New York with my mom and I, and our nurse, John, that was in one of my vlogs when I came home, taught us. So you pull it back all the way. This is a 10cc one. So you pull it back to 10cc, or even beyond that. And the vials say vial 1 and vial 2, but you don't have to do it in that order. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flick the cap off, just with your finger, because we're gonna need alcohol pads. And you are going to take this and vigorously assault it with an alcohol pad. So I'm just doing this for like 15 seconds, right in that little area there. I'm sorry for the blurriness, I just do not know why it doesn't want to do that sometimes. And then around a little bit. Okay, so that one's done. Now you're gonna take this. My mom likes to do the blue one first, and I'll tell you why in a second. So you want to twist this a little bit more because there's a twisty thing there, and you want to make sure that it's completely on. And then you're gonna take your fingers like this and just carefully remove it. You don't want to stab yourself. And then take this. Make sure you're very careful. Put your hands together and then stick it in. And now what we're gonna do is you're gonna pull it back a little bit, and then push in the air. And then what happens, as hard as you can, and then, oh, look at that, does it by itself. And of course, I did not pull back enough. So, I'm gonna push it in again. And we're almost, oh shoot. That never happened to me. So I'm gonna finish doing this one, and then I'll get to the other one. Okay, so we're gonna put the cap again back on this one. Then we're gonna take the cap off of this one. So I'm gonna do that again, 15 seconds about. Okay, now this one, you do not want to spill everywhere because it smells terrible. I know from experience. Okay, so you're gonna stick this in there, push in, and this is why my mom likes to do this one second, because, ooh, isn't that awesome? That is so cool. It's the little things in life that make us happy. So you're gonna, sorry, I'm out of frame. You're gonna pull all of it out, and bazinga. Never even watched that show. So that is the yellow liquid that we're going to take. So we're gonna put that to the side for a second while I clean up this mess. So now we got the TPN here, we got our yellow liquid. So what we're gonna do is there are 3 on this bag, 3 little dingles coming out. So this one is not used for anything. This one is used with the tubing, and this one is the one that we're gonna be looking for. It looks like this. And that one's the one we're gonna administer the yellow liquid, which is the vitamins. So again, as always, this is very important to make sure everything is very sterile. I'm gonna do this for 15 seconds again. Okay, that's there, hanging out. We have our thing that was already sterilized, but if you wanna sterilize a needle, you can do that. This is gonna go in a sharps container after you're done. So we take this, we touch it to the thing, it feels a little squishy. Then you want to probably hold it down at the bottom of the needle and at least just push it in. And don't be too afraid because it will take a lot to puncture through this. So just gonna stick it in there, and then you're gonna inject it and watch the magic. Ooh, look at that. It's turning yellow. Whoa, dude. So now that that is in there, as you can see it's yellow. So we're just gonna take that out and recap it. And sticks that in a sharps container so that it hurts no one. You want to be careful, you don't want to stab yourself. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. Okay, so now it's in, so now we're just gonna mix this bag up. And I want to get the yellow out of this because I don't want all the vitamins to like hit me at once. So I kind of try to squeeze it and then flip it over. And we'll be back when I'm done. Alright, so the bag's all mixed in. Now it's a little more off-white than it was. And what we're gonna do now is take this and open it, and we are going to start the process. So it's taped up a little bit, just gonna take those off. We have here, this is the part right here that is going to fit onto the CAD prism machine. This is the part we're gonna stick in the TPN, and then you go further down the line. This is a filter to filter out any like chunks or anything weird that might not like be good for your putting in your veins. And then right behind it, is a little clamp, which I am gonna actually start to clamp right now. And on the other end, we have this right here. This is the part that is going to screw in to the TPN line, wherever that is, the port, and it's capped off, so that is where that is. You can do this either way. You can do the step I'm gonna do second first, or you can do this first, but I like to do this first. So we're gonna take another alcohol pad, and you're gonna take the middle one. And for this bag, I don't know if any other bags are done differently, but you're gonna twist this thing off and it clicks off, and then you're gonna take your pad, because you don't want to get an infection again, because this thing goes right to your heart. You're gonna vigorously do it again. Okay, so after you're done, you're gonna take this and you are going to stab it into this as hard as you can. You're gonna twist and stab, and it takes a little bit of strength to get it in there, which I have a little bit left. And you want to kind of get it down to this. There's like a little notch in there. I'm gonna get it down at least to there. Okay, so that will work. So now it's in, and then we're gonna take this, and you're gonna unclamp that blue thing that's there, and you're going to stick it onto here. So you put it like this, and then you stick it this way. It's like a hinge. Now you're gonna push it down and hold it, and this is where the coin comes in. There's a little thing right here. I don't know if this is in focus, I can't really see, but and then you're gonna push down and twist, and that, my friends, is a TPN thing. It says high volume admit set latched upstream sensor on, next to continue. So we're gonna press next. Now this is the part that takes a long time. This is prime tubing. So what you're gonna do is you're going to take this part right here. This is what we do. Take this part, and we're gonna stick it in either a bag or in this bucket. So I'm just gonna stick it in this bag that's in the bucket. Put it right there. First, of course, unclamp it. So boom, unclamped. Now you're gonna hold it down. So it says hold. Make sure to disconnect from the patient. Don't do this while it's connected, because you're basically, what you're doing is, watch. So it's pushing the TPN liquid out at a fast rate, way faster than it's supposed to go in your body. And what the priming does is, see, there's bubbles, and you don't really want bubbles. It's okay if there's little ones, but if there's a huge one, it's not good for you. So it's pushing it through, and it's gonna go all the way through until it gets to the end. And I just want all these bubbles like this one to, I hate this. So there's a bubble right there, and I want it to go through all the way, and it's gonna fill this thing up. And then also there's a little trick that I'll show you when it gets to it, but I'm gonna skip ahead until I get it at least primed. See that big old bubble right there? That is not what I want inside my vein. So I'm gonna keep priming. So there's like these little ones right here. These aren't a big deal. They're fine. You can even flick them, and they kind of like just whatever. But that bubble came out of this, so you kind of want to flick this a little bit while it's priming to make sure it, ixnays all the bubble says. I don't know how to speak Pick Latin. Okay, so this is near the end of the tube. This is what I was talking about. I learned this trick. You have to hold this thing upside down and let it fill up. Because if you don't, what I noticed is when we just kind of left it, when I flipped it over, a huge bubble was hiding in this thing. So that's why I do that now. I kind of hold it like this when it fills up. So now that shouldn't be a problem. But this was like a little hidey hole for the bubbles, so that wasn't cool. That was actually beautifully done this time, if I do say so myself. So this is where it comes out of it, just soaks in the bag, and we're gonna put the cap back on. But if you look at the line, it is like really well done. Like usually it takes a while for me to get all the bubbles out, but we pretty much got them all in one shot, so that's pretty great. So it says continue priming. I'm gonna press no, and then it says start the pump. So I'm gonna wait for a second, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so we're gonna take the pump, and we're gonna put it into here. This is like a little window for it. Stick it right there. And we're going to put that Velcro. We're going to take the bag and put it into here. So you gotta unlatch all this. And this does go, you can put this on a pole. But like I said, I prefer to have it here because I can't really walk around with a pole because of my crutches. It's hard for me to like move it and walk at the same time, and I would never make it to the bathroom. So I stick it through here, and then put the other Velcro here to hold it in place. Put these babies like this, and then put this one right here. And this last one is just kind of to hold the line, doesn't need to be done, but you can do it anyways. Alrighty, so everything's set up, looks wonderful. It's actually a little looser. Alright, so we're ready to bring it on to meat. We're gonna take this, which is the saline, take it out, and another trick I learned, when you open it, you kind of pull back on the liquid, and then when you push it up, you don't have to like get all the bubbles and spray it everywhere like some nurses do. That is done. So I didn't record it, but because I just forgot, but you take this, the saline, before you put the pump in, you push it in, twist it, and then you just do a squeeze maneuver so that it kind of keeps things flowing. And then when you're done, you undo it, throw that over there, primed and ready to go. Now all we need is the line for I am stalling the TPN. So here it is right here. We are going to take an alcohol pad, of course, our favorite sidekick on this. We're gonna take the cap off and rub it vigorously and make sure that is nice and clean and ready for administering. Sorry about my dog in the back. Okay, and I'm gonna leave that on the alcohol pad so that it is nice and clean. Okay, and I'm gonna take another alcohol pad, and this is for my port. So as you can see right here, this one right here, this one's for blood tests and other medications you wanna put through. This one is the one that says TPN on it. It's red, but I can't really see down there. So I just go by feeling the flag, but I can see in the camera right now. So you wanna get this one also very vigorously, about 15 seconds or 15, twists. So that is clean. I'm gonna take this and we are going to stick it on there. I'm trying to do it in the camera. Twist and boom! We have administered a TPN. Now what we do is right here, we are going to press next. It says next to advanced. That just goes through all the stuff. So we're gonna press start. Start the pump, yes. And then it's starting pump. And this goes through everything again. Reservoir volume, make sure everything's correct. Yep, 14 hours, so everything's correct there. All you gotta do now, close it, zip it up, and put it wherever. And if you have the AC adapter, you can plug that in the wall so you don't have to worry about battery life. But one battery will most likely give you like one whole night, so you gotta change it like every day. So that is it, guys. Next we're gonna go to see how we take it off in the morning. So that's what it sounds like when it runs. My dog loves it, he falls asleep to it. So we're gonna switch now to 14 hours later and see how we take it off, the final TPN. Okay, it's been exactly 14 hours and the TPN beeped, and this is what it looks like. So here's what the pump looks like. If you press this, it will say running still, but if you press next, it should say, that's the reservoir. So see 0 left out of what was the total, and 0 minutes left. So if you did this like an hour earlier, it would say like 60 minutes left. So it's pretty cool that it tells you that. So it's pretty much done. It's just running like very, very slow now. Every like couple minutes it will kind of pump through. So the bag's like completely empty. Look at that. It's like sucked dry. So this is where we are going to get the supplies and show you how to unhook it. So here we go. So first what you can do is put the clamp right here and on your patient, and then you can actually press right here where it says stop and say yes, stop the pump, and it will be reset so that the next time you turn it on it will be at the full volume again. See? And now so we're just gonna pop the battery right out because that will not last another night unless you had it with the charger. You can put the cover back on, and then you take this right here again with your coin and you just push in a little bit and twist and pop this one out. This goes back here. We're gonna disassemble the bag from your line. So here we go. Okay, so this is what we're gonna use for this one. This is the end of the stash cap acronym. So we did the saline and administered the TPN. So now we're doing the saline and heparin and then the cap. So we're gonna do saline and heparin in one line and then saline and heparin in the other. And the reason we do the heparin after is to leave it in there so that it stays and keeps things flowing. And we're gonna change the second cap once a week when we do a blood test. So this one's changed every day though, the main one. So Mom is setting it up. She usually attaches the cap to the saline for the first line, so that when she puts it in, she just can automatically have it in, and also there's no air through the actual cap. She's gonna set that up, and then we're gonna plug that in. So Mom's gonna actually take off the whole thing, the cap and all. And we did clamp it, so if you don't, it's gonna start leaking like crazy. There's the TPN line, it's labeled, and of course she uses alcohol on everything.
Remember to push up and get the air out.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's leaking. So unclamp.
Yep, unclamp it and then push. Use a motion like this. So that helps, keeps things flowing if you push it in that motion. It's also helpful for the patient if they can taste it like me. There's the heparin, it gets stuck sometimes. So you gotta kind of pop it.
Don't have to, but I always do this.
Yeah, Mom likes to make sure everything's completely disinfected because it's very important to keep this line clean.
It's been clamped.
And we do the same for the other side. Basically that's how you set up and change a TPN and keep the line clear. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. We'll answer it the best we can. We're not professionals, but this is what we learned from doing it twice. Not 2 times, but we've done it twice in the life where we had a TPN, so, or maybe 3 times. Yeah, so we're, so just let us know and we'll give you the best answer we can. So see you in the next video. And if you like what I do, subscribe, and thank you for watching.